Welcome to Houston. It's been 75 years since Houston and Stephen F. Austin have squared off, and tonight they re-engage from Space City. Week 1 in college football, ready for liftoff.
Every fall, something beautiful begins again. The colors return bold and proud. The band strikes up. The lights come on. The volume rises. And just like that, it ignites.
Goosebumps, baby. Goosebumps. This is why we love college football.
This is where stories unfold on 100 yards of open possibility.
What a catch! That is absolutely ridiculous. Wow, what a hit!
The chance, the chaos, heartbreak, and glory.
Don't want to hear no more talking. It's time.
This is college football.
It's game time, man!
And this is just the beginning.
You are watching the Big 12 on ESPN. If that doesn't get you fired up, you need to check the pilot light. If you're looking for electric Big 12 football, you came to the right place. Houston and Stephen F. Austin, Taylor McCarg, and Pete Souza, partner. In the offseason, Willie Fritz in Houston, they went shopping. 30 transfers. They got some good deals. One big deal, Connor Wegman.
Well, Willie Fritz told us last year this was not a Big 12 offense, and so they went to the portal and in a major way overhauled this offense. None bigger than the former five-star and A&M product that transferred in at quarterback in Connor Wegman.
Now, if Houston may struggle with cohesion, that's something Stephen F. Austin has, and they need it if they're going to shock the world tonight.
Veterans all over the place for Stephen F. Austin, led by Sam Vidlac, a quarterback that they feel like could be a player of the year caliber quarterback, and a few other guys that we may see on Sunday for the Lumberjacks. They got to play well tonight if they want to be a spoiler.
Houston won the toss, elects to defer, and here we go. So a touchback, and that'll bring on the Lumberjacks offense, led by Sam Vidlac. 27 touchdowns and 4 interceptions last year. Lost the last 3 games of the season due to a collarbone injury. And Taylor, that really hurt this team's FCS playoff chances.
Well, Kobe Carthel, head coach for the Lumberjacks, told us they were rolling, felt like they had a real chance to make noise in the playoffs until he got hurt. Played a long time. He was a 4-star himself coming out of high school, originally played for Oregon State.
Jalen Jenkins in the backfield. A lot of motion pre-snap. Quick pitch. Jordan Neighbors, the Baylor transfer, surges ahead. Gain of 6.
Jordan Neighbors will certainly be somebody that gets touches as we see tempo early from SFA, but Kylan Harris is the guy that you get movement early from Stephen F. Austin.
Early indications say the center, Eric Gray,
offense number 55,
may have been ahead of schedule there.
5-yard penalty, second down.
Tempo early from Stephen F. Austin.
And there's Kylan Harris that we mentioned. This is a guy they're going to move all over the place, try to get him the ball early and often. Also, along with Sam Vidlac on the Walter Payton watch list.
Play action, Vidlac swings it to his left. Here's Blaine Green, and he is dropped back behind the line of scrimmage. Will James, the cornerback transfer from Southern Miss, does the damage. Loss of 1.
And great job by Will James beating that block on the outside. You'll see on the left side, Kylan Harris is trying to block downfield. It's really a screen. Will James beats him to the point of attack.
3rd and long for the Lumberjacks. Situational football is something Kobe Carthel told us this week he wants his team to improve on. Here comes the pressure, and the ball is knocked down to the turf. Right there, check him out. Lealfo.
And this was an emphasis for this Houston defense. If you can't get home, get your hands up. And a great job by Foto getting his hands up, able to make a play, get his defense off the field. Excuse me, that was Khalil Lofo. But a great job by Houston after that first down initially, weathering that storm in their defense off the field.
Kind use back deep for the Cougs. Juggles it at the 40 and falls on it. 36-yard punt, no return. So Connor Wegman, the 5-star from Cypress, Texas, spent time at Texas A&M, began his career 13 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran into injury trouble and a coaching carousel, and now he's back home ready to do it and represent his city in Houston.
He's got all the tools. You see in this package here, downfield passing when he was at his best at Texas A&M, did a nice job, especially intermediate. That was where he was maybe at his best, and is also a really dynamic athlete. Don't be surprised if you see some design quarterback run game early for Houston.
Dean Connors, the Rice transfer, motion in the backfield. Play fake. Here is Connor Wegman. Launches it down the field. Kobe Young tried to catch up to it. 2nd and long.
There's the adrenaline for your first play back home in Houston. This is all schemed up. Try to get that post over the top. Felt like he had an opportunity there, just a little bit too much on that ball.
Trips to the top of your screen. Pistol formation. Connors off the left side was thrown right to the turf. Coming up, making a big play.
Connors was the workhorse for Rice over the last couple seasons, and that's one of the things that Willie Fritz told us. They want to get to a bell cow feature back. Today it'll be by committee. We found out Rayshawn Sanford unavailable today, so it'll be a combination of Dean Connors, Stacy Sneed, and Jamarian Burnett.
Coach Fritz told us he wants to find that bell cow like you mentioned.
Pressure look here from SFA. We'll see if they back out.
Wegman feels the pressure over the middle, introducing Tanner Koziel, and really quickly coming up to make the play is Michael Patterson.
Well, they did not back out of the pressure look. A nice stunt in the interior as well, and you'll watch pressure right in the lap of Connor Wegman. And Koziel fortunate to hang on to this ball. Looked like that elbow did hit the ground before it came out. How about SFA getting a 3 and out to start their defensive drive?
Yeah, Michael Patterson telling Koziel, welcome to Texas. 3 and out to start the game for both teams. Bugs Mortimer is deep. The Australian Liam Doherty, with 1 full season of football under his belt, lets it loose. Drifting back deep, Mortimer, as it caroms into the end zone for a touchback. 54-yard pump. We're coming back. No score early. Shasta ready to roll from Space City. Back in Houston, last meeting between these two teams 75 years ago. Stephen F. Austin actually leads the series 2-1. NASCAR was founded in 1948. They had just invented Scrabble, and they were getting those Polaroids going to get good-looking pictures of Taylor McCarr.
Average cost of a car, $1,250.
I can't even make the joke because you're younger than I am. Hey, what was that like? You could say that to me, though.
I would never.
Kylan Harris is into the game at the bottom of your screen. For Stephen F. Austin, we didn't see him in the first series. His absence was felt. Banging his way to a couple yards, rather, is Jordan Neighbors lined up in the backfield.
And early touches for Jordan Neighbors. Kylan Harris is the guy that coming off of a 1,000-yard season. I feel like this is an opportunity for him to repeat as an All-American, but no touches yet early in this first quarter.
No Quaylen Jones this year for Stephen F. Austin. He led the team in rushing last year. Finished up his eligibility for the Lumberjacks last season. Dropped off to Neighbors. Surging ahead for a first down just shy of the 35-yard line. Called an 11-yard gain.
And a nice job playing off of Gerard Edemo on the outside. You'll watch this pivot route from Jordan Neighbors. Work to the inside, pivot back out, and it's all set up really like a downfield legal screen from his big tight end. That's been the feature early in this game for SFA. That's the third touch already for Jordan Neighbors, the Baylor transfer from Rockwall, Texas.
And the first down for either team tonight. Former freshman All-American Richard Reese into the game for Stephen F. Austin. Play fake to him. Here's Kylan Harris, wrapped up and dropped by Kentrell Webb. 3-yard gain.
And I like this early from Stephen F. Austin and offensive coordinator Chris Ross. Easy completions, get it out of your quarterback's hands quickly. Try to build some momentum as they work towards midfield.
Oh, that one almost intercepted and taken home by Zelmer Vetter.
And that's the flip side, right? You've had all underneath completions so far in this game. Zelmer Vetter, he knows that as well, so he's squatting on this. And for Sam Vidlac, you got to throw this ball outside. You throw it late and inside. That's where you usually hear the other team's band play. Very fortunate that wasn't a pick six from Zelmer Vetter.
3rd and 6. Vidlac with the happy feet. Oh, and de-cleated and de-helmeted. Trey McCutcheon. Blaine Green didn't have a chance.
Take a look at this. This will be right in the middle of your screen. As Trey McCutcheon works back. Boom. Blaine Green on the receiving end. And for Blaine Green, honestly fortunate that ball was behind him and not out in front. Would have been even worse.
Trey McCutcheon playing the jack position for Houston. Started playing football after he got a Halloween costume. His mom let him be a football player. His brother, Latrell, is a starter on this team. And another hard hit. College football is back. It's just week 1, feeling like week 10. 41-yard punt and no return.
Nice job downfield in coverage. You're exactly right, Pete. Got some violence early in this game. SFA not backing down at all. Houston on that last possession, slow start. They take the shot downfield, try and hit the home run ball and miss, and then the drive sputters. You saw Tanner Koziel, the big transfer tight end, came in from Ball State, had a brief stint in spring ball at Wisconsin. He's lined up, only tight end, bottom of the screen. Expect him to be featured all night.
Chance Salter was the heat-seeking missile in punt coverage. Quick toss, Sneed strung out and wrapped up just across the 20-yard line. Here are our impact players.
Well, a couple guys, Charles Demings, somebody that you will see playing on Sundays. Talked about all the scouts that have come through the facility to see him so far in camp. And Tanner Koziel, we just mentioned, 94 catches a year ago at Ball State.
2nd and 9 for the Cougars and Connor Wegman. Wegman bobbles the snap, steps up, trying to scramble out of trouble.
And there's that element we talked about earlier, the ability for Connor Wegman to take off. This is a designed quarterback draw. Sell this drop, take off, get what you can get vertical. And that's an element when he was at Texas A&M. Some of their biggest plays when he was a quarterback for the Aggies were with his legs.
This dude's a great athlete. Put baseball aside to focus on football. Took his name out of the 2022 draft. Major League Baseball prospect says, no, I'm going to stay on the gridiron. Finds Harvey Broussard, the transfer, making his first catch as a Houston Cougar. Set down immediately, brings up another 3rd down, no gain.
And SFA not afraid to play close to the line of scrimmage right now. And that's something defensive coordinator Mike Mutz told us. Because of Charles Demings and how good he is as a cover corner, you're going to get a lot of single high to stop the run, man defense. And that's what we're seeing early. Not afraid of these Houston receivers running by them. A nice job by SFA, another 3 and out.
Booming kick by Daughtry. And wrapped up inside the 10-yard line is Bugs Mortimer. We have seen some great punt coverage tonight. Stick around. We might see more. Khalil Lafayette there. Willie Fritz, 65 years of age, 32 years of college head coaching experience, 212 FBS wins. That is 4th in the nation among active coaches. Taylor, feels like this guy has been everywhere, and as far as the people he knows in the coaching industry, it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? Bring it back to Bacon.
That's exactly right. Well, yeah. And he's extremely well respected in the industry, has won everywhere he's been, all the way from his time back at Blinn Junior College. And what I love here, you see the difference in that first season, just above 500, but look at the jump up to almost 75% win percentage in that second season. I think that's what he's a program builder. He's done it at a number of places. Everybody, I think, remembers his success at Tulane, taking them all the way to a Cotton Bowl victory over USC. And that jump from year 1 to year 2 is what Cougars fans are hoping to see this year under Willie Fritz.
And he's hoping to see a 3 and out, looking for his offense to get the ball back and find a rhythm. For now, it's the Lumberjacks' turn. defense. Impressive last season, picking up where they left off. Sam Vidlak in shotgun formation, 4 of 7 on the day. Play fake. Almost another interception. That was intended for Kylan Harris, and Mark Stampley almost walked into the end zone with it.
Good sticky coverage by Mark Stampley. Man defense getting a lot of pressure right now early from Houston. Top of the screen, right in the middle. Mark Stampley, number 22. Watch him drive on this slant route. Right now, SFA not taking shots downfield, I think, is resulting in these Houston DBs a little closer to the line of scrimmage, triggering towards the ball.
Second and 10, 8:30 left in the first quarter, still no score. Stephen F. Austin trying to shock the world. Vidlak rolls out right, and feels the pressure from Brandon Mack.
A busted play there. Bring the motion across. I think Vidlak thought he had somebody coming in the flat. There was no one there. All you can do at that point is get rid of the ball.
Vidlak began the evening 4 of 5. He is 0 for his last 4. So another 3rd and long.
All right, Pete, you look like you're going to get more pressure here again from Houston.
Vidlak, you're exactly right. Dials up, intercepted right through the hands, and it's C.J. Douglas, knocked to the turf, incomplete. I spoke too soon. LeVar Lindo couldn't corral it for the Lumberjacks.
Well, this ball gets on LeVar Lindo in a hurry. Watch, as soon as he turns his head, ball's in a perfect spot. That's got to be caught by Lindo. And I was right there with you, Pete. I thought initially that this was caught for an interception. Ends up being a drop by C.J. Douglas. It's really just early in this game, a punt fest between these two offenses.
Well, and a sigh of relief for Sam Vidlak. He has gotten out of jail 3 times tonight. Makai Muse is deep. Driven back. Takes it at the 38-yard line. Streaks down the left side. Weaving through Trackle. Wrapped up by Whibley. 52-yard punt, 19-yard return.
Makai Hughes last time caught a punt. It gets blown up. This time, little room to his left side, gets vertical. Nice tackle in the open field. Otherwise, a little more daylight. Makai Hughes was almost to the house, and now can Houston take advantage and capitalize on this field position. 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs. You're a Houston fan hoping to see a little more momentum here on their 3rd possession.
Well, if you're Connor Wegman, what's going through your mind right now?
Just wanting to get comfortable. Want to get a couple easy completions under your belt. So far, it seemed like they just can't get any momentum going early on 1st down.
Here's the bruiser. Jamarian Burnett bangs his way across the 35-yard line.
And that was another comment from defensive coordinator Mike Moots. He told us, look, we expect Houston to want to run the ball. He actually said, I will faint in the press box if they throw the ball 50 times. And so that's for Houston, getting back to running the ball on 1st down. If they can do that consistently, pick up 6-7 yards on 1st down, that opens up everything else in the playbook for offensive coordinator Slade Nagel.
Burnett driving across the 30, taking tacklers with him. 1st down, Malachi Williams on the stop.
And Burnett is a big back. Stands at 6'2", 225 pounds. You see when he gets running between the tackles downhill, that is a load to bring down. Does a nice job leaning forward, picking up the first down of the night for the Cougars.
116 yards after contact for the big fella as a freshman. That led all Big 12 freshman running backs. Dials up. Incomplete. Intended for Kobe Young again, the deep threat.
And Jalen Mayo in coverage did a nice job. You're seeing man defense across the board. We'll remind you again, Charles Demings is the corner number 1. You get a look from Jalen Mayo, but Demings on the other side really locks down that left side. But to the field, this is a nice job taking away space, nowhere for Connor Wegman to throw that ball.
Right back at 5. 2nd and long. Snead takes the toss, redirects, cuts back, wiggles his way into the red zone.
seen all three backs, just like we expected from Houston. Stacey Sneed, Jamarian Burnett had a couple carries early in this drive, and Dean Connors. One other point on Connors, last year at Rice, 62 catches for almost 500 yards. Another element that he adds out of the backfield. Not just a good ball carrier, does a nice job in the pass game as well.
Yeah, the only FBS player with 700-plus rushing yards and 400-plus receiving yards the past 2 seasons. What a find for the Cougars. Springing across the 15-yard line is Jamarian Burnett, and he continues to punish the Lumberjacks defense, this time to the tune of 7 yards.
And I think it feels like Slade Nagel's trying to do exactly that. We're going to try to lean on and punish this defensive front, running right at Stephen F. Austin. Some of it between the tackles. That was a nice call 2 plays ago to Stacey Sneed. Get that stretch zone game working as well. I think Houston trying to impose their will up front.
Cougars' first trip into the red zone. See the motion from Thomas. Wegman will keep it himself. Spinning to the 11-yard line. Second carry for him, and he has absorbed some contact. Jaden Southern on the contact.
Once you get into the red zone, especially tight red zone, Tanner Koziel, the big tight end, and Harvey Broussard, number 3, receiver they brought over from Louisiana. Those are the big targets in the red zone. Right now, that's Stephon Johnson that's in. Amari Thomas at the bottom.
7th play of the drive for Houston and Connor Wegman. Check out Koziel. Wide open. His first touchdown as a Houston Cougar. 94 catches last year. An 11-yard touchdown tonight.
Well, this is a busted coverage. Stephen F. Austin does not pick up Tanner Koziel coming out of the backfield. He's split off, and as he breaks out to the left side, he's now taken off over here. No one travels with him from Stephen F. Austin. As a bust, he's left wide open. And for all of the touchdowns in Koziel's career, that's the easiest one so far.
If I saw it from all the way up here, I was pretty sure he was going to catch it. Ethan Sanchez in for the extra point. 7 plays on that drive. 5 runs, 2 passes. And Willie Fritz just talked about it. We want to be a 50-50 team, but you also want to be a winning team.
They said they wanted to get their big tight end involved early and often. This was getting on the same page in Houston, their first touchdown of the 2025 season.
7-0 Houston. Cougars fans are out and ready for week 1. Tanner Koziel also ready. A Bolitnikov watch list candidate, and he looked like a ballerina on that last touchdown.
Great body control. That ball thrown back behind him, opposite shoulder from Connor Wegman. Tanner Koziel showed why he was the #1 tight end in the portal last year.
Began the offseason at Wisconsin. Felt out of rhythm. Came to Houston. The perfect fit for a tight end like that, and so far, he's cashing in on the opportunity.
Well, their opening scoring drive all started with the big-time punt return from Mekhi Muse. And then most of this production was running the ball right downhill at Stephen F. Austin, capped off by this busted coverage, which Houston takes advantage of, and Tanner Koziel's first touchdown of the year.
So Connor Wegman finding his rhythm. How does Sam Vidlak locate his?
I think they got to get more production on early downs. Keep this to 3rd and manageable.
Richard Reese scoots ahead, close to the 30-yard line. The Baylor transfer getting an opportunity here at Stephen F. Austin.
I think if you're Stephen F. Austin, you also want to test this secondary. All the throws right now for Sam Vidlak have really been underneath intermediate throws. I think if you can protect long enough, any sort of double move or downfield shot play may help Vidlak.
2nd and 7.
Nice job by Houston holding their water. Did not jump off sides on that hard count.
Sam Vidlak drops it off. Bugs Mortimer stacked up at the 25-yard line and driven back. Will James was the first guy to welcome him. Kentrell Webb also late to the party, but there.
It's the second time Stephen F. Austin has run that play to the left side, and the second time Will James has blown this play up. Watch as he's patient, waits until the receiver's clear in front of him, and then rallies to the football.
Lumberjacks 0 of 3 on 3rd down, looking at a 3rd and 8 right now. Ademo in motion. Vidlak off of his back foot, floats it down the left sideline. Jordan Neighbors was there, just out of his reach.
And he had Jordan Neighbors. This was a fade into the boundary. Neighbors stacks his defender and is winning on this route. Thought Vidlak had a chance to step into this throw. Felt like he was fading away, and that ball faded as well out of bounds. Another 3 and out for the Lumberjacks.
Vidlak now 1 for his last 7 throws, as we see Mekhi Muse, who almost broke open his last punt return. Drifting underneath it at about the 37, calls for a fair catch. Get all of your ESPN college football in one place with the new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan, or go ahead and log into your TV provider. 47,000 live events, studio shows, it is all covered. Cougs coming off a scoring drive, try to keep the momentum going. Wegman swings it to Dean Connors, who is decked in the backfield.
It's a blown assignment by Stacy Sneed. Running back releases out. And it's a missed assignment. Fortunate for Dean Connors that he doesn't get injured on this. You see flash right there. A nice job rallying to the football.
Devion Hargrove diagnosed it, made the contact. Here's Connors with the football. Goes right back to him, does Willie Fritz. You got to appreciate that. Slade Nagel calling his number again, 8-yard game.
And this is something Connors did such a nice job of at Rice. You saw the patience, one burst, and get vertical. He's not the fastest back that Houston has, but he is consistent. He was the workhorse for Rice over the last 3 seasons.
3rd and 8. Stephon Johnson at the bottom of your screen. Amari Thomas reaches out, climbs the ladder, and grabs it. First down, chains moving for Houston, 12-yard gain.
Easy, simple slant to the field. Amari Thomas does a nice job winning on his route, and a good, easy, simple third down conversion from Wegman to Amari Thomas.
Connors off the right side, second carry in the last 3 plays. He's stacked up and knocked down close to the line of scrimmage.
SFA has held true to what they told us they would try to do coming in on defense. Man defense, single high, a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage. And so far, I think they're doing a nice job trying to limit Houston's ability to run the football. Not really seeing them get gashed to this point.
Second and long. Wegman thought he was going to load up, drops it off for Connors. We might see a lot of that this year. Second catch of the drive for Connors, 7-yard gain there.
And they try to go the wave concept, deep crossing routes. The problem is they ran it into man defense. That concept works most of the time when you're running it into a zone coverage. Those defenders don't get lost in traffic, nowhere to go with the ball. Good job by Wegman just checking it down and picking up something.
You see those eye-opening numbers for Connors at Rice. Just 4.5 miles down the road. Short trip for the transfer. Koziel in motion, flag. And it looks like another penalty on the Cougars. It'll be the second of the half. That was Dalton Merriman.
Snap infraction. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Dalton Merriman moved as well on that right side. We called it on either one. Those are the things Coach Fritz talked to us about. In week 1, you can't beat yourself. Pre-snap penalties, turnovers, and too many teams lose games in week 1 with those kind of mistakes.
And another flag. And some frustration.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty.
That was Alvin Abaselli, the Baylor transfer.
This is part of 4 pieces on this University of Houston offensive line. As you see Abaselli start to rock back. 4 of the 5 for this unit are brand new. Demetrius Hunter, Matthew Wyckoff, a couple guys that had starts previously, but trying to get this unit to gel early in this game.
3rd and 14, Connors again. Running him down is Aaron Austin. Now that offensive line play, the miscommunication, whatever it is, Taylor, you know better than me, but that's something we can see across all of college football with just these new guys coming in and working to gel in front of our eyes.
Well, and you see it every year in week 1, or certainly in week 0. We saw some of it last week. Pre-snap penalties, hard count situations. And that happens all the time where these guys are not used to still their quarterback and their cadence in game situations. It's not the effort penalties that get coaches. It's those pre-snap penalties and turnovers that kill you.
Mortimer back deep. And it looks like Houston will let the clock run out. Ending the first quarter with a 7-0 lead for Houston. We have seen some big plays on defense from the Cougs, leading to no points from Stephen F. Austin. Lumberjacks looking to get the ball back.
You may not think of yourself as an athlete, but you do athletic feats. You swing, you block, you rush, you drive, you lift, you flip, and you tackle. So whether you're an athlete or not, The Joint Chiropractic can help keep you on the active list. The Joint Chiropractic. Don't do pain, do you. Visit today and get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29.
Our orthopedic care is shaped around you. And you. And you. Because customizing treatments and using breakthrough techniques is how your comeback starts. Like 3D printing for ultra-precise joint replacements and providing the same specialty care as we do for the Houston Rockets. So you return sooner, stronger, better. This is orthopedic care designed for you. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
A lot of lawyers will tell you to trust them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let my clients speak for themselves.
Stuart J. Gus's office and staff took care of me to a point where all I really had to do is sit back and be taken care of.
A lot of the treatment I got was like completely covered. Trust Gus lifted me up when I was so down.
If you're looking for a lawyer that's compassionate, that doesn't treat you like a number, Stuart J. Gus is the right place to go.
Good to be in H-Town on a Saturday night at Shell Energy Stadium, and it is time for Houston Dynamo FC. Scores! What a stunning goal for the youngster! Header is in! A header is in! What did they do? Andre Linger did it! Andre Linger did it! Lopchik looking for the corner! Oh my! Goal!
Momentum. It's what launches us forward, develops life-saving vaccines, and helps children regain mobility. Momentum is Pulitzer Prize winners, championship contenders, and building a new medical school from the ground up. Momentum is more than just moving forward. It's being unstoppable. Can't stop Houston. Can't stop us.
This field belongs to the ones who take it. This season doesn't come with the script. This is where everything is earned, and we mean everything. We don't do handouts here. You want the spotlight? Earn it. You want to shine different? Prove it. 30 years strong, and we keep shining brighter. This is Big 12 football. This is a different league.
Oh, welcome to the tailgate here. The Houston Cougars up early 7-0 on Stephen F. Austin. Lumberjacks ready to get the football back on 4th down. Taylor, I got to ask you, Houston looking much like the team from last year, even though Willie Fritz hit the portal to make some improvements.
It was a top 20 defense a year ago, and I think they're showing some of those reasons why. Good tackling, really good coverage on the back end. Stephen F. Austin just 25 yards in that first quarter. But Houston's offense, I think, a little bit slower than they would have expected to start.
Back to action as we see the punt go out of bounds. Well, you mentioned that Houston defense. They have nearly had 3 interceptions. The pressure has been coming fast and furious at Sam Vidlak.
Gave up some completions early in the game, right in that first quarter. You mentioned it. There were 3 opportunities for interceptions. This massive collision from McCutcheon. And the guy that we've called a couple times, Will James, I think has done a fantastic job from the corner spot, not just in coverage, but tackling as well, which you'd love to see out of your corners.
So a disappointing 17-yard punt for Houston. Setting up Stephen F. Austin to begin this drive. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And there is the log so far today. A lot of punts, little first downs. Vidlak, play action, goes to his left. Kylan Harris. Kentrell Webb almost threw him down. Harris continues to fight, clawing his way to the 35-yard line on 1st down.
Show the fight from Kylan Harris. More screen game for Stephen F. Austin. I think that's been the feature so far for them, getting the ball out of Vidlak's hands quickly. This is an RPO trying to get it to the outside, put him in a one-on-one situation with the defender, but Houston doing a nice job tackling in space.
87 catches for Harris last season, 2 tonight. Jalen Jenkins strung up in the backfield. Kentrell Webb.
That was such a nice job in space from Kentrell Webb. Reads this perfectly, flying down the line of scrimmage, making a good open field tackle. And Stephen F. Austin, you asked last possession, Pete, how do they get some momentum going? They have got to get out of 3rd and long situations. This is where Houston's able to tee off, rush the passer, and utilize guys like Eddie Walls and Brandon Mack off the edge.
Jacks 0-4 on 3rd down. Flags are down. Almost another interception by Zelmer Vetter. Great defense by him again, knocking the ball to the turf, but he's 0 for 2 interception-wise.
Offside. defense number 10, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
And Trey McCutcheon lining up in the neutral zone.
You can see Sam Vidlak looking at Clayton Wayland, receiver he's targeting, telling him, get your head around. We got a free play. I need your eyes on me. It's a little bit more manageable opportunity for offensive coordinator Chris Ross. See if they're able to convert.
Get your head around. He might have said something different than that. 3rd and short. Vidlak got to convert here. Who does he go to? You guessed it, Kylan Harris. Second catch of the drive, 3rd of the night. Change move for the Lumberjacks.
And a savvy throw, putting this on the back shoulder of Kylan Harris. Mark Stampley from that star position driving on this. You'll see from the right side, number 22 driving down. That ball being thrown behind Kylan Harris. Really nice job by Sam Vidlak.
First 3rd down conversion of the night. Can they capitalize? Right through the hands of Gerard Ademo. That's an opportunity they got to take advantage of there.
Absolutely. And right now you're noticing Houston defenders, if there is an open receiver, there are red helmets flying to the football. They are all over Stephen F. Austin right now. I'm still waiting for, is there going to be any sort of double move? Does Stephen F. Austin have anything dialed up to try to get behind and test this Houston secondary?
2nd and 10. Vidlak hands it to Jenkins. He squirts across the 50 to the 48-yard line, 5-yard gain. Miles Parker on the stop.
And the Stephen F. Austin running back room will be a little bit by committee as well. Also have Richard Reese transferred in from Baylor in that running back room. Once a Big 12 freshman of the year for Baylor. Gerald Wembley, Anthony Williams as well. Pretty deep running back room for the Lumberjacks.
So far, 3 different ball carriers tonight. Another 3rd down. Vidlak off his back foot again, drops it off. Clayton Wayland is belted to the turf by Brandon Mack.
It's the 2nd time a Stephen F. Austin receiver has gotten blown up. I thought from here, do we get any sort of helmet-to-helmet contact on this, targeting such a big part of the game these days.
Wildcat formation, Blaine Green plunging into the line of scrimmage, nothing doing. Jalen Garner met him first, and the Cougs stop him on 4th down.
Huge momentum play for Houston. Stephen F. Austin trying to go quick and catch him off guard. Take a look, get into the Wildcat formation, but this is blown up in the interior. There's one of 4 defenders for Houston standing right there, able to make that play. Jalen Garnier able to take advantage and get his unit off the field.
All right, how do you win sudden change right here if you're the Cougs?
I think you try and dial up another shot. We saw that on the first play of the game. With sudden change, that's a lot of times where defensive coordinators expect, is there any sort of shot over the top?
We'll see what Slade Nagel does. Jamarian Burnett, most of his work has gone between the tackles. Sako Alafipo on the stop.
Instead, Slade Nagel going back to the ground. Really, since that 3rd possession of the game, Houston has been committed to running the ball between the tackles, getting it to 2nd and manageable.
56 rushing yards for the Cougars tonight, a team that wanted to throw the ball more. There's Burnett! Bursting across the 40-yard line, absorbing contact, finally taken down by Malachi Williams.
You can see when he gets vertical, this is the biggest running back out of this room, but that burst, as soon as he gets through the first level, difficult to bring down, and a good job in open field coming down and making that tackle.
6 carries for 36 yards for Burnett, his 3rd straight give. Malachi Williams meets him at the line of scrimmage.
I do think it's interesting, though, Pete, we're not seeing downfield progressions right now. I mean, they're running between the tackles, then a couple play action passes off of it. But I think Coach Fritz talked to us about, he felt like with Connor Wegman, they had the opportunity to do multiple levels, downfield type throws. We're not really seeing that right now.
Motion from Muse. 2nd and 10. College football on a Thursday night. Here's Muse over the right side. Ball squirts out of his hands. Check that. That was a shoe, I think. Kai Thomas on the stop.
Muse running so fast, he ran out of his shoes. And I love these as a quarterback. Watch, this is a pop pass. Comes out of his hands. Case Keenum, legendary Houston quarterback, was always jealous of him. It felt like he had an extra 1,000 yards of passing every season off of that play. You see his shoe fly off.
We got shoes flying. We got helmets missing. We got college football, baby. Dean Connors says, "Don't forget about me." Knocked out of bounds inside the red zone. And the drive marches on.
And you got to love a running back rocking number 44 with no gloves. Right? I mean, he's not going to step out of bounds. Watch this, coming right into your living room, finishing this run. Boom. Lean into that last defender. Talk about how much of a workhorse he was for Rice. And this staff raved about Dean Connors. It does everything well, including pass protection, which Connor Wegman bragged on him for.
Steady diet of Jamarian Burnett and Dean Connors on this drive. Back to Connors. Met at the line of scrimmage by a posse of Lumberjacks defenders. Williams gets there first.
With Harvey Broussard in the game right now, that's the target that they talked to us about being the red zone. He'll be up at the field, number 3, the transfer from Louisiana. Is that a red zone target? And do they give him the opportunity matched up against Jalen Mayo for a 50-50 ball?
Oh, I heard you talking to Connor Wegman yesterday. You said, "Who's your guy?" Fade route. He said Broussard, the big 6'3" receiver. Let's see what he does here. There's the fade. Almost an interception. Charles Demings was there, the NFL prospect, but a flag is down.
This may be offensive pass interference. It looked like potentially a pick route. Kobe Carthel from his sideline is calling for this to go against Houston.
A slow developing play.
Pass interference, offense, 15-yard penalty, still second down.
You nailed it, partner.
And I think that speaks to the coverage for Charles Demings, who again is going to be a guy that's going to play on Sundays. You see on the left side, this will be a pick route. People run this rub route all the time, but Stephon Johnson runs at his defender and creates that contact. You've got to run your route, show hands, act like you're running a route to create that legal pick.
Pistol formation. Jamarian Burnett, the battering ram, is deep. Burnett thought he had a little more daylight than he did. Nice play closing down on it is Williams.
But I say again for Charles Demings, how impressive is that there's offensive pass interference and he is still in perfect position, almost comes down with an interception on that play.
8th play of the drive for Houston. Trips to the left. At the bottom of your screen is Kobe Young. 3rd and 20. Play clock at 3. Wegman with time. Floats it to Muse. In and out of his hands. Big-time defensive effort by Michael Patterson, the former Houston Cougar from Houston, Texas. Back home doing work.
And right in the Houston student section, they're calling for pass interference. It looked like he may have gotten there a half step early. See a little bit of contact. You could see that going either way. Maybe a little bit fortunate that was not called. But how about the call for the coverage? That was one high man defense on 3rd and 20. I think that shows you Stephen F. Austin right now not afraid of Houston's receivers to run by them.
Mike Moots, the defensive coordinator for Stephen F. Austin. Here is Ethan Sanchez. Right through the uprights is a 40-yard field goal. Only one he missed last year was more than 50.
A little bit of bend but don't break for the Stephen F. Austin defense. Fortunate, maybe, that this wasn't pass interference, but the Lumberjacks staying in the fight. We'll see how their offense can get some momentum going when we come back.
not Christmas morning. It might feel like it, but it's Labor Day weekend. There it is, folks. A full slate, and it is electric. Now, I've got my eyes on, again, I'm a little older than you, Notre Dame versus Miami. I was raised on that one, but you've got your sights set on a different one.
Hey, look, this right here, to me, I don't care about all the Texas-Ohio State stuff. LSU Clemson, battle for Death Valley. Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, two teams that have historically struggled in week one. You've got storylines all over the place. And look at these prospects at the quarterback position. Got a chance to spend some time around both of them this summer in Thibodaux, Louisiana at the Manning camp. And these guys are both the real deal. I cannot wait to watch them battle it out Saturday night.
Last year and what they do now. Houston has been moving the football, but the passing game has struggled. Haven't really quite found that rhythm I think they talked about and are looking for.
Really that opening throw of the game. They've been committed to running the football between the tackles. I think other than that offensive pass interference, drive was going well previously. But now for Stephen F. Austin, can they find some momentum? Houston has shown violence early in this game, a couple of huge hits. And Stephen F. Austin needs to try and test this secondary at some point.
The Lumberjacks were moving the football last drive and melted under the 40-yard line. Blake Thompson strings out Wimbley, and we've got a flag on the play. Quite possibly a face mask.
It wasn't much. I think this is going to be unnecessary roughness out of bounds. There was contact. Didn't know if it would be enough to get a flag.
We have heard from our referee, Kevin Marr, frequently tonight. Let's go to him again.
Foul. Late hit out of bounds. Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Sione Fotu with the late hit.
And Fotu, this is close. That's 1 foot out of bounds. There's not much in that. You see those go kind of 50-50 one way or the other, and I would say a second 50-50 call of the night that's gone against Houston so far.
Shotgun formation. Anthony Vidlak. Low snap. Anthony Williams, rather, gets the carry. Clawing his way back to the first down, or excuse me, the line of scrimmage. Eddie Walls makes the tackle.
And Carlos Allen, the big nose tackle, blows this play up. Penetration really all over the place from that front. Carlos Allen, second year here at Houston, transferred in from Kennesaw State. Really one of the best nose tackles in this entire league.
Vidlak rips it. Nice catch by Harris. Rook Brown stacks him up. Harris keeps it moving across the 50-yard line. Check that, just shy of midfield.
I love the effort here from Kylan Harris. Watch when he makes this play, catches the ball, he ends up fighting for another almost 3 yards. Second time tonight we've seen that out of him. Love that energy and effort from Kylan Harris.
Stephen F. Austin, 1 for 6 on third downs. Staring down the barrel of a 3rd and 4. Vidlak almost intercepted again. Will James almost again. That's 4 that they've dropped tonight.
And right now, Vidlak, not a lot of time. You can tell he's uncomfortable. This is a simple China concept out to the field. Got that hitch. And right now, Will James driving to the football. He's not afraid at all of any sort of double move, any delayed route concept. They know right now, Houston does, it's going to be quick game, screens, stuff in the flat, because they have confidence in their defensive line to get after Sam Vidlak.
Makai Muse looking to get another crack at it. Bouncing at the 15-yard line. Caroms and settles down right around the 3 or 4. Big break for the Lumberjacks. Coming back, Houston football. Cougars lead 10-0. Take a look at this. Brand new facility, Memorial Hermann Football Operations Center. 105,000 square feet. It is beautiful. This was on July 28th. You think these guys like it? Taylor, we were in there yesterday. I mean, you want to talk about lights out. The lights were on, and I couldn't stop looking. It's a world-class facility. It's something that Houston has talked about and wanted for a long time. And when you couple that with this stadium, TD-ECU Stadium, I think Houston is right up there with anybody else in the Big 12 in terms of facilities. The weight room, I mean, there's so much to love, but the weight room was pristine. It was like a palace, and it was almost cavernous, so big. So here's Connor Wegman, backed up on his 4-yard line. Worst starting field position of the night for the Cougs. Dean Connors, lathered up, takes it across the 5-yard line. We talked about Tanner Koziel, the tight end, a lot early, had the only touchdown of the game. We'll see if they come back to him. Lined up, 3 receiver inside, off the ball. Connors again. Flipped by Xavier Potts. Brings up another 3rd down. Well, and Jaden Southard, the captain at linebacker, is also there as well. You know, sounds like we're hitting the same point over and over, but Stephen F. Austin is playing man defense with people close to the line, and they are not worried right now about Houston throwing the football. 8 carries for Connors for 32 yards. This is a zero pressure, man free now look. We'll see if Stephen F. Austin brings this blitz. Connor Wegman, the former 5-star, unloads down the sideline, was looking for Kobe Young again deep, knocked to the turf by Mayo, also on the turf, a flag. Had a conversation between the line judge and the side judge. See if this will stand. Looks like it will go against Jalen Mayo.
Pass interference, defense number 12. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
We'll get a couple looks at this. You see that right hand pulling back on the jersey of the defender. I think that's where that call is coming from. Jalen Mayo with that hand in sort of the pocket of the receiver, Kobe Young. This will be a great look at it. I also think the ball's a little bit underthrown, which helps out the receiver, Kobe Young, get that call. And maybe Connor Wegman rewarded a little bit with an underthrown ball. Wegman 7 of 10 tonight for just 40 yards. That's the one early touchdown pass you just mentioned to Koziel. Here's Dean Connors, his 9th carry. Tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by Aaron Sears. FCS freshman All-American last year, played just 7 games. Coach Carful loves him. Said it was a blessing to have Aaron Sears back. Watch on the left side. Good job tracking down Dean Connors from behind, getting that tackle for loss. Now Sears coming up to make the play from his free safety position, but Slade Nagel told us yesterday the thing he was most worried about was the defense, right? The defensive front of Stephen F. Austin, and they have shut down this running game as of late once again in the backfield. That time it was Jaden Southard. Called his name a couple times on this drive. When you get to your point, Pete, we're calling the names of linebackers and safeties right now close to the line of scrimmage, right? I mean, they're the ones rallying to the football, getting in the backfield and creating havoc. 3rd and 10, what sort of downfield passing attack does Houston come with? Can Stephen F. Austin get themselves off the field and dial up pressure here on Wegman? Stephon Johnson, the heartbeat of this receiving corps, not in the game right now. Wegman across the middle finds Amari Thomas. A huge first down for Houston, and the drive continues. A nice job by Connor Wegman standing in the pocket. He takes a shot and still delivers this football in a tight window. That's a big first down for Wegman and his confidence. Wegman feeling the pressure and getting to him almost in time. Tim Muhammad. Looked like Muhammad was matched up against on the opposite side of Alvin Ebiselli. gets the better of him, winning on that left side.
2nd and 10. Burnett in the backfield. Luke McGarry in motion. Here's Jamarian Burnett. Jaden Southern again. He began on a partial scholarship. Colby Carthel told us this week he has earned a full one and earned his spot in this lineup, and we see why.
And that nothing has ever been given to Jaden Southern, seeing why he's a captain of this team. 3rd time on this drive. He's made a big tackle.
Another 3rd and long, 8th play of the drive. 1 first down extended by a penalty. Wegman wasn't ready for that. Feeling pressure from the backside, escapes the pocket. Darts down the left sideline. Stays inbounds. Do-si-do is just inside the 40. Biggest game on the ground of the night for Houston comes from Connor Wegman, 27 yards.
And Mike Moots is going to be kicking himself that Stephen F. Austin didn't come away with a sack here. This ball is snapped early. Wegman is not expecting this ball, and it's now a busted play. Look at all the white jerseys in the backfield, and great job by Connor Wegman turning that into a 1st down.
Wegman just feeling it, showing the moxie after the big gain. Finds Burnett. Burnett finds the end zone. 39 yards, 17-0, almost Houston.
Great vision from Connor Wegman, working downfield, recognizes he's got his running back in the flat. And the rest of that is Jamarian Burnett. Watch how he steps up, eyes are downfield, a little bit of pressure in his face. Where's my relief valve? It's my running back in the flat, and the rest of this is speed from Burnett for the 2nd touchdown of the night for the Cougars.
9 plays, 96 yards, 345. Just what the doctor ordered for Slade Nagel and the Cougars offense.
And how big was that 3rd down conversion on the dig route in the middle of the field? Houston didn't have anything going, no momentum. After that, 3 chunk plays on their way to another scoring drive.
And you know what I found interesting on that drive? After that long gain of 27 yards, it really felt like Wegman was showing off his confidence. Stepped up in the pocket right after that, found Burnett, and we've got 6 from Houston. Wegman that drive, 2 of 3 for 51 yards and a touchdown, and you add in the 27-yard scramble, that's 78 yards he accounted for himself.
Well, it's been a little stop and start early for the offense for the Cougars. This was by far their best drive, and a nice job getting it to his running back. All speed from Jamarian Burnett, and his quarterback loves it.
Well, it didn't take very long, but it covered a lot of ground.
Number 29 is now.
9 plays, 96 yards. Houston now up 17-0. Stephen F. Austin going to try to turn up the stove here. Have had no luck so far, just 52 total yards on offense, Taylor.
Got to get something going in the downfield passing attack. I know we could say that about both offenses right now as the ball falls off the tee. We'll try that again. But for Stephen F. Austin, and Kylan Harris, he's been their star early in the game as we expected. Shown some toughness, fighting for extra yards. Can they get anything going in the ground game? I think Houston's front has been extremely impressive on defense so far.
And credit Austin Armstrong, the 32-year-old defensive coordinator for the Cougars. One of the brighter young minds in football, clearly. Here's Richard Reese. Knocked down at the 24-yard line.
We go back to the last scoring drive for Houston, and I thought it all started with this third down right here. A great strike from Connor Wegman. This was a busted play that Wegman turned into something. Ended up being biggest run of the night so far for the Cougars. And then the scoring play finds his relief valve into the flat. Burnett all the way to the house, and on a drive that looked like it had stalled deep in Cougar territory, ends up being the second touchdown of the night for Houston.
Sam Vidlak. Here's Anthony Williams, the UCF transfer, drifts to the right side. Short game, brings up 2nd and long.
And when Williams is at his best, they use him all over the place. You see him lined up as a receiver, split as a tight end. They try to get him the ball in really creative ways in their offense.
So Sam Vidlak, if you remember, missed the last 3 games of last season with a broken collarbone. Now, is that an injury that could kind of follow him into this season?
I don't think so. I think so far tonight he has not looked comfortable because he's had Cougar defenders in his lap pretty early and often. He's got less than 3 seconds, probably less than 2 seconds right now when they go into their drop back passing game.
Williams stumbles out of the gate. Cuts back and weaves his way across the 30. Tackle made by Eddie Walls.
But the thing I like about Vidlak in his time at SFA is how efficient he is with the football.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
We will be efficient and take our break. Stoppage, 2 minutes. Houston, Texas, the 4th largest city in America. The bright lights as night falls. The Cougars up 17-0, and a pivotal 3rd down lies ahead for Stephen F. Austin with some work to do. 2 minutes left in the first half. Pete Souza alongside Taylor McHarg. It has been exciting. A lot of contact, a lot of pop. Unfortunately for Stephen F. Austin, not a lot of points. Lumberjacks 1 of 7 on 3rd down. Sam Vidlak looking to change that. Off of his back foot. It is a 1st down. Finds Jordan Neighbors. Latrell McCutcheon on the stop.
And good patience from quarterback Sam Vidlak, waiting on Jordan Neighbors to get into that second window. Wanted to throw it to him on that shallow cross right away. Gave ground a little bit and hits Jordan Neighbors for the 1st down.
Short drop. Quick toss to Blaine Green.
And this
McCutcheon
is where,
knocks him out of bounds.
This is where SFA needs to get back into their tempo. I think you're starting to see that a little bit, but that's when they're at their best. After they get any sort of momentum, back on the ball and go.
Slade Nagel, Austin Armstrong told us, Houston's defensive coordinator, they're not a NASCAR unit, but they do move it. Intercepted by Mark Stampley at the 40. Across the 50, knocked out of bounds. First turnover of the night, couldn't have come at a better time for Houston.
Houston secondary had multiple opportunities and had dropped the interceptions to this point. And this is another route driven by a DB for Houston. Mark Stampley does a great job beating the receiver, Kylan Harris, to the route. Right when he gets to the top, watch how he flips his hips, actually spins all the way around. That is a great job by Mark Stampley, locating the ball and beating the receiver to the point of attack.
He just stepped right in front of it and said, "Give me that." 17-yard return. Now the Cougars are knocking at the door with 1:32 left in the first half. You like Wegman going deep here?
We'll see. So far, Houston's been committed to running the ball.
Short drop, slings it to Tanner Koziel. Jalen Southard is there. Clock continues to run.
See if Houston picks up their operation a little bit. Still plenty of time with their timeouts.
Only the second target for the 6'9" tight end, 6'7". Knocked out of bounds. Second consecutive catch. Southard again runs him out of bounds.
And Koziel had a background as a big-time basketball player in high school, and you see that in how he runs his routes, and more so in his body control when the ball's in the air. That touchdown earlier in the game, working back away from him on that back shoulder, you could see how in his film, especially from Ball State, boxing guys out, using his body, really good at those 50-50 contested balls.
163 catches over 3 years at Ball State. There he is in motion again. Wegman, straight drop. Feels the pressure, drifts to his right. Throwing on the run, intended for Stephon Johnson, still does not have a catch. Got a target there.
No one open. He's trying to go back to Koziel to his left side. And a good job in coverage by Jalen Mayo. Anytime a quarterback gets into scramble drill and there's nowhere to go with the football, just speaks to coverage on the back end, staying at home, staying with their receiver. And Jalen Mayo that time, the guy that was being targeted as the corner, good job in coverage.
Connor Wegman led Texas A&M to a 3-1 record as a sophomore. Then he broke his foot last year, started 6 games, met some more injury, ultimately replaced by Marcel Reed. He has got it in his bag, and this time he hands the bag to Connors, who spins across the 20 into the red zone. First down, Raiden Campbell on the stop.
Looks like Willie Fritz will take his first time out, get a breather,
First charge timeout.
try and come back, get consolidated as a unit.
30-second timeout.
Good job again by Dean Connors, working off of this right side. And a nice job washed down by Dalton Merriman, that right tackle, creating that lane for Dean Connors.
It is a Houston timeout.
And I know that was Connors there, but it just feels like Connor Wegman is getting lubed up and finding his confidence the past 2 drives.
Yeah, I think he's certainly settling into what they're trying to do as a unit on offense. I think Houston has, in this first half, been very committed to running the football on first and second down. I mean, that to me has been the key of their first half. And I think if they were to score here and they go into half at a 24-0, I don't think that that'll change in the second half. And especially the way their defense is playing, this may just end up being a night for Connor Wegman. They don't ask him to do a lot, delivering the ball downfield.
We had a chance to catch up with him yesterday afternoon. It's real cool to see you two vibing, being two Texas quarterbacks. We walked him to the bus, and as you guys were walking to the bus, the door swung open. Taylor didn't hold it for me, but the five-star did, Connor Wegman. That's how good of a guy he is, right? He's thinking about me. Taylor, what happened to you?
Or how bad of a guy I am. I think that goes both ways.
Hey, let the record show. Taylor has been chauffeuring me around for the past 3 days, so.
And how about that stop right there on 3rd and short from Stephen F. Austin? Houston challenged them, ran right at that front. Great stop by that unit.
So we got a 4th and 1.
Houston, their second charge.
Cougars will call a timeout with 41 seconds left in the first half.
And I think you go for this. And I think as we take another look at Stephen F. Austin working on this left side, not really any push, and you see that penetration on the right side. Really nice job by this defense and Stephen F. Austin. And Kai Thomas is the first one there. Loved his story. This is a guy in Kai Thomas that had graduated, got his degree. He was working back home in his hometown of Elkhart, Texas, working at a Granite Supply store, and his head coach goes into town recruiting Elkhart, says, hey, you still got a year of eligibility left. You want to come back and play a little football? Says, you know what? I actually do want to come back. I think I'm tired of the real world already. Comes back, actually had 2 years left. And I feel that, now that we're in the real world, I would love to have one more year of eligibility, especially the NIL world.
All right, so why would they go here? Why are they going here, I should say, as we see Connor Wegman back on the field?
I think, again, because of how well your defense is playing. And if you want to challenge yourself in your offense early in the game and early in the season, that in a critical spot, we need to impose our will and pick up 1 yard, see if Houston's able to do it.
Jamarian Burnett with 40 yards tonight on 9 carries.
First charge timeout,
we'll have to
SFA.
wait
30
as the timeout is called by Colby Carthel. Carthel, as we see him on our screen, is one of the best guys in college football, to talk to, and he talks about that red dirt mentality that his team has. East Texas tough. They've shown it to us here tonight.
Well, they definitely play with an edge. You see in warm-ups all the guys for Stephen F. Austin in those East Texas tough sleeveless hoodies, but their players really do embody that. And Kobe Carthel in his 7th year at Stephen F. Austin, you could tell that his players are fully bought into that mantra, and the message is consistent top down. Coaching staff, players, training staff, support staff, they all have that mantra embedded in them. And I think that's part of why they've had so much success under Coach Carthel.
They have showed us that grit tonight. Can they show us again on 4th and 1? Shotgun formation. Burnett gets a head start. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Spot indicates that has a stop. Colby Carthel high-fiving Jaden Southard. And right now, it is a Lumberjacks first down.
That is an unbelievable effort. And right after we talk about this team and their mantra of East Texas tough, and they show up. It was 3rd and 1. They get the stop at 3rd and 1. Great job by our crew getting this angle. This is right down the line. Does any part of that ball even come close? He's a full half yard short. Look at that reaction from Coach Carthel. He is loving it.
East Texas tough. Can we say it again? I asked him, I said, Coach, what is red dirt mentality? And he said a Hall of Fame coach at one point in time mentioned East Texas kids are tough. They go to school with their lunch pails. They open it up. They dig into their sandwich. And there's red dirt in there. And they eat it. That is East Texas tough. Give me a sandwich.
I love it. Looks like Stephen F. Austin content to take it into half. And although offensive production hasn't been what they had hoped for in this first half, how about that defense? That stop, extremely impressive. See if they get another playoff, but it looks like they may just take this into the locker room.
Bidlack under pressure. Eddie Walls is there. Ball's knocked to the turf. Disaster averted with 2 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, I don't like that if you're Stephen F. Austin. 9 seconds and you're working really a 10-yard route to the boundary. Now we'll see if they're taking a knee here, if they run another play.
6'7" Robert Keller, the left tackle, left on an island with Eddie Walls. Found himself in some trouble. 3rd and 7. Whistle is blown, and a timeout called by Stephen F. Austin. Colby Carthel and the Lumberjacks getting their money's worth here in the first half.
Second charge timeout, SFA. 30-second timeout.
Well, this weekend, Saturday afternoon, a celebrated appearance by Lee Corso introduced college football to so many of us and showed us the pageantry and the headgear.
I can remember my earliest memories of college football, watching it with my dad. You turn on College Game Day, Lee Corso's there, Kirk Herbstreit and the guys. But that headgear selection at the end of every episode or every show, one of my favorite things. He is an absolute legend of the game. He's left an indelible mark on college football.
Synonymous with college football. And by the way, he was a bad dude as a coach at Louisville and Indiana. 17-0 at half. Could talk about Lee Corso forever, but halftime awaits. Defense standing out once again for the Cougars, and so is new addition tight end Tanner Koziel and the bruiser Jamarian Burnett. 17-0 Cougs.
30 minutes in the books. Week 1 of the college football season is here. Welcome back, old friend, and welcome into our ESPN studios with my old friend, Sam Acho, EJ Manuel, Kevin Connors here with you. More college on the way, but the NFL has major news tonight. Breaking news, Adam Schefter had it. The Dallas Cowboys trading linebacker Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. He's already agreed to terms on a 4-year, $188 million contract with the Pack, $120 million guaranteed. He's now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. In return, Dallas gets 3-time Pro Bowler Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Adam Schefter on how this blockbuster got done.
Jerry Jones was disappointed in the fact that he felt like he had an agreement in late March with Micah Parsons that would pay him $40.5 million a year on average. The two sides never negotiated after that. Micah Parsons never practiced this summer. He had back tightness that he went to get a second opinion on in California, and there were people who said that Micah Parsons didn't have leverage, but his agent David Mulgeta did have leverage. He had the leverage of Parsons' talents in talking to other teams, and the Packers were highly interested all along, so much so that they were willing to pay him more than any other non-quarterback in NFL history ever has been made. And we have another blockbuster trade 1 week from when the Dallas Cowboys will be playing the Philadelphia Eagles 1 week from tonight on Thursday Night Football. There is a trade that has sent ripples across the National Football League.
Acho, the Cowboys are trading away arguably the best defensive player in the entire NFL. How do you process this trade?
For the Cowboys, it's very hard to process. If I'm a guy in that locker room, I am frustrated. I am confused. I am perturbed. I'm trying to find other adjectives that I could say on TV. There's nothing that you can say to a current player in that locker room to explain this. If you're thinking, okay, long-term play, Dallas now has 4 first-round picks to try and maybe trade up in the draft, that still doesn't help a current player. So for Cowboys players, Cowboys fans, there's a high sense of frustration.
But I'm also trying to look at this from a different lens. Maybe David Mulgeta, the agent of Michael Parsons here, was saying, you know what, T.J. Watt is up for a big contract. Myles Garrett got paid as well this offseason. You want your guy to technically reset the market and get more than all of them. So maybe this was a long-term play anyways. If Jerry Jones did, in fact, have that deal where he was going to make 40.5, whatever the number was, maybe they wanted more in the back end.
Yeah, but on the Packers side of it all, I couldn't be more excited for the Green Bay Packers. I remember I was on the Chicago Bears team that traded for Khalil Mack when we traded away a couple first-round picks, and we went from a top 10 defense to the number 1 defense. We went from just a couple Pro Bowlers on our team to 8 Pro Bowlers on our team. What you're going to see from this defense specifically is that Micah Parsons will take all of the focus, so guys like Rashawn Gary, who was a Pro Bowler last year, could have more one-on-ones.
And for Green Bay, in many ways, it feels like getting Reggie White all those years ago. What he did there for the Packers there. Yeah. And for Dallas, 1 week from tonight, the start of a new season without their superstar. College football week 1 is here. What a showdown it'll be. And one that might set the tone for what we expect in January. Preseason number 1 Texas and the defending champs number 3 Ohio State. Julian Sayin is QB1 for Ryan Day. Texas has maybe the best linebacking core in the game, but make no mistake, Arch is the story. 2 starts last year for Manning, the weight of the sport on his shoulders. Saturday will be his first ever road start. He started 2 games last year, both of them at home. EJ, he is ultra talented. He is far from a finished product. What must he improve on this season?
Well, the best part for Arch is that he's going to get a ton of reps moving forward in his career, and that's what he needs. You look at some of the areas where he does need to improve his decision-making. Is also when you get late in the down, not to force the football down the field. And every quarterback, you got the arm, you want to make those throws. But right here, you're going to see a couple clips right here of just the decision-making. He does a great job in the pocket, keeps 2 hands on that football. He shrugs one guy off. Again, he's a big body. You got a free rush on your face now. You got to make a decision. I say get back to the middle of the screen there in that dig route. You put it up in harm's way right now. This would have been potential a interception. You turn the ball over. It can't happen. Right here, you have to have your footwork match up with the route. This is a hitch. So in the shotgun, that's a catch, set, throw. You're not going to take 3 steps like Arch does. He's late on this throw, guys. This gets picked off. It's going back the other way against a team like Ohio State. Potentially 7 points for them. Also in Columbus, you don't want that crowd to get into it. 1st and 15. This is important because, again, the decision-making. When you take off and run, Arch, protect your body. Your best ability is availability for this football team. When you get 5 or 6 yards, slide, get down. You got 3 defenders like Sam Acho that want to come and take the head off right there. So, again, the leadership The toughness is great, but all is lost if you're hurt. And so that's a big thing for Arch. Make good decisions and protect your body.
He's not Josh Allen. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Of course, Matt Patricia, the former Lions head coach, is the one game planning for Arch this weekend. New defensive coordinator at Ohio State. He's got one of the most unique players in the game in Caleb Downs.
Yeah, and Caleb Downs doesn't make mistakes. He knows what he's supposed to do, but he also knows what everyone else is supposed to do on the football field. He knows his responsibility, and he makes sure that everybody does their job. Let's take a look at this play from last year's game in the college football playoff versus Texas. He's one-on-one, man-to-man coverage in the pass versus Juan Davis. But here, it's not a passing play, it's a running play. Notice he doesn't back up, he sees the mesh, and he gets to his spot and condenses the gap to allow Tyreek Williams to make the tackle. That's why they were top defense last year. Remember I said he knows what everyone's supposed to do? Let's add the referee on that as well. The referee's in his way. Why? Caleb Downs, is lined up as a Mike linebacker, but he knows he needs to drop off of the hash. He's disguising. He confuses the offense, and then all of a sudden he's going to drop right on that hash. Quinn Ewers doesn't know what to expect. Sack fumble by Sonny Styles. Great disguise, great coverage, great getting everybody in their gap. But lastly, penultimate really. This is another play. Caleb Downs points, he sees what's happening, sees the motion, Juan Davis again, and he triggers. He goes right where he knows the play is going to happen. Study film, he understands what's going to happen, and he stretches out and makes a play. Now the last play of the game, same thing. We talked about Caleb Downs being in the right place at the right time. That's that middle of the field drop. There's 3 different receivers, but his eyes are on the quarterback. He knows where the ball's supposed to go. He doesn't get distracted or confused. He just does his job and makes the play, walk-off game winner right there. So the best thing about Caleb Downs is that he knows what the 11 guys on offense need to do, 11 guys on defense need to do, and the referees.
All those megastars on the field on Saturday, right, between Arch Manning and Caleb Downs. We didn't even talk about Jeremiah Smith. Dynamite top 3 matchup to get the college football season started. And we are coming right back.
Halftime in Houston, Space City, looking pretty good on a Thursday night. The Houston Cougars not looking bad themselves. Year 2 of the Willie Fritz era underway, and a 17-0 halftime score. Pete Souza with Taylor McCarg. Taylor, Houston did it a lot of different ways with defense first.
Violence early and often from the secondary. Trey McCutcheon stepping up from that star position. And then I thought Will James had a great first half. We called his names a couple times. And after a few missed opportunities and chances for interceptions, Mark Stampley rallies there. On the offensive side, really just a couple big plays. Koziel gets it started at the tight end spot for the touchdown, and this was right before half. Finding his relief valve to his running back, Jamarion Burnett. I thought the Houston offense did some nice things. I know Willie Fritz at half talking to his unit about wanting to find a little more consistency. When you take a look, Stephen F. Austin really not able to get much going running the football. I think Houston's done a fantastic job up front, limiting Stephen F. Austin really throwing the ball and running the ball. And for Houston, the passing yards at just 102. I think that's what is most surprising to me for Houston on offense. We made a lot about the first half play calling and consistently running the ball on first and second down. Not sure how much we'll see that's different in the second half, but we'll see.
All Houston in the first half. Second half awaits. Tanner Koziel. First touchdown as a Cougar. We'll be back.
Our orthopedic care is shaped around you. And you. And you. Because customizing treatments and using breakthrough techniques is how your comeback starts. Like 3D printing for ultra-precise joint replacements and providing the same specialty care as we do for the Houston Rockets. So you return sooner, stronger, better. This is orthopedic care designed for you. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
A lot of lawyers will tell you to trust them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let my clients speak for themselves.
Stuart J. Gus's office and staff took care of me to a point where all I really had to do was sit back and be taken care of.
A lot of the treatment I got was like completely covered. Trust Gus lifted me up when I was so down.
If you're looking for a lawyer that's compassionate, that doesn't treat you like a number, Stuart J. Gus is the right place to go.
Town on a Saturday night at Shell Energy Stadium, and it is time for Houston Dynamo FC. Scores! What a stunning goal for the youngster! The header is in! The header is in! What did they do? Andre Linger did it! Andre Linger did it! Object looking for the corner! Oh my!
Momentum. It's what launches us forward, develops life-saving vaccines, and helps children regain mobility. Momentum is Pulitzer Prize winners, championship contenders, and building a new medical school from the ground up. Momentum is more than just moving forward. It's being unstoppable. Can't stop Houston. Can't stop us.
This field belongs to the ones who take it. This season doesn't come with the script. This is where everything is earned, and we mean everything. We don't do handouts here. You want the spotlight? Earn it. You want to shine different? Prove it. 30 years strong, and we keep shining brighter. This is Big 12 football. This is a different league.
You are watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Week 1 here in Houston, Texas. Cougar fans getting their money's worth. 17-0 Houston as we get set to start the second half. Pete Souza alongside the quarterback, Taylor McCark. Taylor, speaking of quarterbacks, Connor Wegman got off to a bit of an awkward start, seemed to find his rhythm. The Houston running game has been a touchstone for that rhythm.
I think they absolutely leaned on the running game. They had Connor Wegman running the ball as well with some design quarterback run game. It'll be interesting to see, do they dial up any more downfield passing attack in the second half, or do they continue to lean on this Stephen F. Austin front? I think both sides of the ball for Houston, offensive and defensive line, have proven how dominant they have been in this game, especially on the offensive line running the football. But for Wegman, I thought he played a nice, collected first half, didn't have any major mistakes. They also, I don't think, asked him to do a whole lot throwing the ball downfield.
Now, on the other side of that, we've got Sam Vidlak, who struggled early. But, you know, just talking to you at halftime, a former quarterback, I know how that can be difficult, right, when you're playing a Power 4 opponent.
I think it's clear that Vidlak is a little uncomfortable, and anytime there's a drop-back pass situation, I think he has really not much time at all. And for an offense that has had a ton of success at the FCS level throwing the ball down the field, I think this Power 4 defense, and one that was a top 20 unit last year, not just a good Big 12 defense, but a good unit overall, they're getting after Vidlak in a big way.
Yeah, time and time again last year, Houston held their opposition to under their scoring average. And three-headed monster for Houston in the first half. Tanner Koziol, 4 catches, 26 yards, 1 touchdown, making it look easy.
Yeah, he looked sharp, and Dean Connors, 11 carries in the first half. Coach Fritz told us at some point they want to have a bell cow running back. If you look at the production in the first half, I think Dean Connors is the guy that they have gotten comfortable with, giving him consistent carries, and here he is again at the running back spot to come out at second half.
30 transfers for Willie Fritz and the Houston Cougars coming into 2025. We just saw 3 of them on our screen. And here's Connors again, spinning his way across the 35-yard line. Jalen Southern, another tackle, sticking his nose in it all night long.
I loved when we talked to Coach Carthel about Jaden Southern, said that is a guy that has earned every rep he's ever had. Nothing has been given to him. I think he's played like a captain so far tonight for the Lumberjacks.
Second and short. Play fake. Pressure coming. Thrown to the turf. Lorote Jerkin, first sack of the game for the Lumberjacks.
Dalton Merriman on the right side. This is a one-on-one matchup, and he is beat right off the top. Watch. This is a great move. Working to the outside from Jerkin, excuse me. A nice job getting that corner on Dalton Merriman.
Now, Connor Wegman is a Texas guy. He loves brisket, but little beef jerkin right there. 3rd and 9. Pressure dialed up again. Koziol using his body, putting it in between the defender and the football. 5th catch of the game.
This is a perfect example of Tanner Koziol and that basketball background that we talk about. He's got a defender all over him, but uses his body. That is such a good job on a contested catch to pick up a first down.
Another low snap, ball hits the turf. Pouncing on it is Connor Wegman. Aaron Austin was right there.
A little sloppy from Houston coming out of half. Had the sack a second ago. And that right there, those meshes, zone read, pull or give the ball, those are the things when you move around as much as these players do in modern college football, it's hard to get consistent reps. Wegman is pulling the ball there, but it just stays on the hip of his running back, Dean Connors, fortunate to be able to fall on the football and keep possession.
Willie Fritz told us he was going to roll his offensive linemen, meaning there will be substitutions. We have seen that. A lot of guys can play different positions. This time the offensive line, Spring and Snead dragging tackles with him close to the 50-yard line. 16-yard gain.
I love the effort from Stacy Snead, the smallest of the running back group, but he's running like the biggest. Look how many broken tackles. One there, fights through a second. This is where he drags another 2 defenders for first down for Houston.
A lot of lost helmets tonight. These guys need to buckle up maybe. Mike Moots, defensive coordinator for the Lumberjacks, shows blitz again. Southern maybe too aggressive. We'll find out.
Offside. Defense number 6. In the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty. First down.
For all the things Southern has done well tonight, a little over his skis in the hard count, which really these days is just an extra clap from quarterback Connor Wegman. Gets the free 5 yards.
9 tackles for Southern tonight. Has been extremely active. 1st and 5, pistol formation. Sneed aligned behind Wegman. Another whistle. Early indications are this one might be on the Cougs.
Ball starts. Offense number 59. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Demetrius Hunter.
And Demetrius Hunter now in at center. They told us we would see both at center, Demetrius Hunter and Matthew Wyckoff. And like you mentioned, Pete, so much was made of the portal additions on the offensive line. Just one returning starter on this unit. And I think there's been some ups and downs, not just with pre-snap penalties. You saw the sack earlier in this drive, but I do think they've done a nice job in run blocking tonight.
1st and 10. Movement from Koziel. Another low snap from the Cougars. Wegman showing off that athletic ability. So nimble, stays in bounds. Dipsy-doos to the 40-yard line. First down.
Great job making something out of nothing here from Connor Wegman. Pressure again off the left side. It was Wote jerking again. You'll see it at the top of the screen. 39 jerking winning, but a nice job feeling where the pressure is. Slide to his left. Look at that move. Pick up the first down from Wegman.
No answers there for Jacob Gillespie, juked out of his shoes by the former 5-star Wegman. Sneed staying upright for as long as he can. Finished off by Aaron Austin. Austin loves to be disruptive. Gained 35 pounds in the offseason. Committed to eating. That's not a bad way to live life.
No doubt. And Cameron Reddick coming down from his safety spot. That's part of what blew that up. Got to the running back before Tanner Koziel could pick him up.
2nd and 11. 4 wide receivers. Pressure again. Koziel again. Into the red zone. And he's slow to get up. Cameron Reddick came through and hit him low. Connor Wegman feeling the pain from afar. A 23-yard gain, but a hush over the crowd tonight.
And he immediately went to that left leg. Taking a look at that knee, it looks like I don't want to speculate on an injury, but gosh, for all the hype around Tanner Koziel and how well he's played tonight, that was the guy that Connor Wegman talked about, how much he enjoyed working with him this offseason, getting on the same page. This would be a huge blow if Tanner Koziel's not able to come back.
6 catches for 60 yards right now for the Ball State transfer. While we were away, Tanner Koziol got to his feet, and we see him walking off the field now with no assistance. Taylor, your thoughts?
Well, it's interesting. The hit is on his right knee, which is what we thought originally, but then they were treating his left leg, and we can see right on the bench in front of us, they're taking a look at his left leg, but great to see him walk off on his own power.
Snead gets the carry on first down. Held up just outside the 15-yard line. Back in the red zone is Houston. Extracurricular activity. Let's get a look at Tanner Koziol, still here on the bench right now, getting assistance from the Houston athletic staff. 6 catches for 61 yards, 1 touchdown in his highly anticipated debut as a Cougar.
You can see that brace going on the left leg typically means, see that if they think he's coming back in the game, which is a great sign if you're a Houston fan.
Jet sweep behind the line of scrimmage. Jalen Mayo says hello.
Jalen Mayo from his corner spot comes up and blows up this jet sweep. This is played about as well as you could play it. Look down to the field side, sheds his block, works up and makes the open field tackle.
Xavier Potts is down. Big fella, 6 foot 271.
Now this will be interesting on whether or not the ball was spotted before he went down. Remember this year, defensive players, if they had spotted the ball and then he goes to the turf, this will be a timeout for Stephen F. Austin.
Which down 17-0 in the second half. They could probably utilize at some point. Remember, just 17-0, and if they're held to a field goal here, still a 3-score game. Stephen F. Austin still very much in this ball game. Need a bounce or two, and right now Xavier Potts in some pain.
It looks like he's working through cramps. We said pregame.
Yeah.
It felt like 100 degrees, 80% humidity on the field. We thought we'd get some cramps at some point tonight. That's exactly what Mr. Potts is dealing with right now. Good to see him up and walking off. And Pete, it's 9:05 local. Still feels like it's 95 degrees on the turf.
Well, you played at Rice. You know this weather.
We always played Houston in the Dome. And by the Dome, I mean NRG, not the Astrodome. I'm not that old.
Colby Carthel has spent a lifetime coaching in Texas. Tanner Koziol, oh, that has to be a good sign for the Houston fan base.
Well, that's great to see. I mean, a guy that has so much hype and attention around him has played well early in this game. Great to see him back up on his feet, moving around.
Yeah, sigh of relief throughout this stadium. Dean Connors in the backfield, 3rd and long. Trips to the top of your screen. Wegman looking down the field. Amari Thomas into the end zone. Picture perfect throw from Connor Wegman. 20 yards.
Best throw of the night for Connor Wegman. This is tight coverage, man defense again. Amari Thomas is going to work all the way across the field, and he's got a defender matched up on him right on his back pocket. This has to be a perfect throw for Connor Wegman, and it is. On that front shoulder, that is a great throw and catch for the touchdown for Connor Wegman and Amari Thomas.
11 plays, 75 yards. Wegman on that drive, 3 for 3 for 54 yards and a touchdown.
Talked all night about downfield passing for Houston. This is the best example of it so far for Connor Wegman. Stretches that lead, 24-0.
SFA, number 29, is now wearing number 96.
Back in Space City, where the Cougars have launched 24-0. Amari Thomas with a beautiful touchdown catch. His second grab of the game, coming on a huge third down conversion and a 20-yard touchdown. Thomas, a junior from Birmingham, Alabama, UAB transfer, making the most of his opportunity here at Houston. And he wears number 0, and Connor Wegman treated that as a bullseye, and bam.
He's matched up against Charles Demings, and this is the guy, number 1 for SFA, that will play on Sundays. I think that's what makes this even more impressive. This is best on best, and Amari Thomas gets the better of Charles Demings. You can't say enough about that throw from Connor Wegman. If that's a half step behind his receiver, it's an interception.
And slowly but surely, we have really seen his game develop over the course of this contest. We know who he is, but for him to show that after trials and tribulations playing at Texas A&M, gotta feel good. Sam Vidlac gonna take a crack at it. Jordan Neighbors, wide receiver motion. Stopped up towards the line of scrimmage. Jalen Garner was the first guy on the scene.
More penetration from this front from Houston. There's been a number of guys that have been extremely impressive. Jalen Garner has played fantastic. Haven't had a chance to call Chance Bryant's number. Only freshman that's been in the starting lineup at linebacker. But Eddie Walls, Carlos Allen, Trey McCutcheon, they've all played really well up front.
How about Latrell and Trey McCutcheon? Brothers starting on a Power 4 defense. Miss McCutcheon, a job well done. Jalen Garner, another job well done. Coming up, making a big play.
He's everywhere, and this was a good job with his eyes. SFA trying to sell this to the left, work back to the right. Jalen Garner, senior, Norcross, Georgia, not fooled.
SFA 2 of 9 on third down. Sam Vidlac feels like he's just been behind the 8 ball all night long. Pressure coming again. Falls to the turf, little contact, no call. Contrell Webb in coverage.
Khalil Laufo is all over Vidlac. And Kylan Harris was going for a call. Looked like he thought he was held. Back judge kind of signaling to him. Looked like they got their feet tangled up with one another. But something else the defense and defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong talked to us about. They wanted to win P&10. First play of every drive. Don't let Stephen F. Austin get out ahead of the sticks and get into their tempo. I think Houston has done a phenomenal job of that tonight.
Makai Muse back deep again. Booming kick. Drifts back inside of his 30 and calls for a fair catch. Cougars football when we come back, 24-0.
Connor Wegman's done a little bit of everything tonight. This was the first touchdown of the game to Koziel. I thought he's warmed up as the game has gone along. Touchdown on a well, this was on the broken play, scramble and making something happen with his legs, which we've seen a couple times tonight. This was the touchdown before half to Jamarion Burnett. But I thought tonight so far, he's shown you a little bit of everything, using his legs. Another good example here. And then this strike to Amari Thomas was by far his best throw of the night. And I think he's gained more confidence as the game's gone along.
Drop back. Wegman feels the pressure. Sneed slips out of the backfield. Ball hits the turf, ruled an incompletion. More pressure coming from SFA. But the real story there, pre-snap, like moving like a deer, was Tanner Koziel in motion.
Great to see Koziel back in the game.
Awesome.
And for Stephen F. Austin, that pressure right there, that's the third time tonight, Luote Jerkin is in the backfield. He's what caused that pressure on Wegman.
Told you, too much beef jerkin for Wegman. Ridden to the ground, Ed Bobineau.
Luote Jerkin should absolutely have a beef jerky NIL deal.
He should now.
Jack Links or whoever else out there, you got to get on that.
And there's Ed Bobineau. Strongest lower body he has ever seen, says Mike Moots. 6'1", 334, Bobineau. 2 gap defensive tackle, stops the run, and did it there. Wegman with time. Beautiful pass, beautiful grab. Away from his body, Koziel snatches it, and he's thrown to the turf. Slow to get up again.
And I'm not certain that this was a catch. Not that it's going to matter at 4th and medium, but I think we'll take a look coming left to right from Koziel, who, you're right, he was slow to get up. Let's see if he maintains potential. I'm not sure if he maintained possession of that ball. That might have been incomplete.
Stands as a catch now. He's got 7 for 63 yards. Liam Daughtry, the Australian, played his first year of football last season. Willie Fritz said he was excited to see him play again this year. That is why. Here's Bugs Mortimer. The Lightning Bugs. Darts across the 40-yard line, close to midfield. Run out of bounds. 56-yard kick. 33-yard return.
Maybe the best field position of the night for Stephen F. Austin. Great return for Bugs Mortimer. Look at the vision here. Works all the way to his right, makes a couple defenders miss. All the way back to the left, and the little speed here. I guess they're going to say he stepped out on the other side of the 50. See if Stephen F. Austin can get any momentum going, try to get some points on the board.
Sam Vidlak, Peyton watch list candidate. That award goes to the best player on the FCS level. Flags are down. That pop pass to the wide receiver. Again, short gain. Rook Brown, transfer from Wyoming, in on the tackle, along with Corey Platt.
And this was called by the line judge as soon as the ball was snapped.
Illegal formation. Offense, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
An alignment issue, not enough people on the ball. Those are the pre-snap penalties. You work through those typically in week 1. You hate them as a coach. Kobe Carthel, those are the items, and he talked about it. Coach Fritz talked about it as well. It's something you kind of expect in week 1, is to work through some of those issues.
Colby Carthel working through those issues in real time, like you mentioned. So was Willie Fritz. Carthel signed an extension in March. Rook Brown extends and knocks Vidlak to the turf. The Wyoming transfer making his presence felt back at home in Texas.
Rook Brown unblocked. Vidlak knows he's hot, trying to find a relief valve right here, wants to get rid of it. There's nowhere to go with the ball. A big play from the Wyoming transfer, Rook Brown, getting his first sack of the season.
Austin Armstrong, defensive coordinator for Houston, loves chaos, and he lobbed a grenade in the backfield of the Stephen F. Austin offense there. Loss of 8. Vidlak in trouble again. This time it's Brandon Mack. Ball is loose. Lumberjacks fall on it.
It's been the story all night for Stephen F. Austin on offense. Cannot protect well enough against this Houston front. I think that, to me, is the strength of this defense. They have gotten after the quarterback all night. We'll get another look at it. The twist up front, really just great timing. Fortunate for Stephen F. Austin, they were able to get back on the ball, but Khalil Lafau, great move in the interior. But for Houston, I think that front for them has been fantastic. Picked up right where this defense led off a year ago, where they were a top 20 unit in the country.
Lumberjacks moving the wrong direction. 3rd and 32. I've lost 17 yards on the past 2 plays, and that is a delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, for offensive coordinator Chris Ross, you got to dig pretty deep in the bag for 3rd and 37.
Maybe, hey, look, he tried to get you to transfer to play quarterback for him in high school. Maybe
That's
he
right.
dial your number.
Don't tell the UIL that.
Pitch and catch. Oh, Carmicah Glass meets Bugs Mortimer, throws him down. The Monroe, Louisiana native.
And look how much fun these guys are having right in front of their student section. Got the crowd fired up. This unit has played lights out all night. Held Stephen F. Austin still almost in the 4th quarter to under 100 yards of total production on offense.
Fourth and Austin. Another booming kick. Micaiah Muse driven back. Fair catch at the 35-yard line. 49-yard punt. Well, we've seen Connor Wegman tonight. 15 of 21, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That is the elite quarterback play we'll be seeing out of the Big 12 all season long.
It's such a deep league at the quarterback position, but these are some of the guys that I think are at the top of the list. Josh Hoover at TCU has a strong case to be right up there as well after throwing for almost 4,000 yards. But these are some of these guys in here. Sawyer Robertson, Sam Levitt. You and I got a chance to talk to your buddy, draft expert this week, Todd McShay. He was high on Sam Levitt.
Oh, you are both high on Sawyer Robertson. As Dean Connors spins close to the 40-yard line, Samaj Avery belts him down.
But it's true, this league, with the amount of production coming back and a couple of the pieces that have stepped in, like a Connor Wegman, top down, I think it's the deepest league in college football in terms of production at the quarterback position.
Well, and you and Mr. McShay both love Sawyer Robertson as well. Both of you guys had a chance to see him up close and personal at the Manning camp. Connors again, hitting that B button. Wrapped up at the 34-yard line. Southern again, north of 10 tackles.
Probably a pull read there for Connor Wegman. Ends up handing it off into a play that was really dead from the beginning.
3rd and 9. Dean Connors, a real find in the portal. Like we said earlier, short trip from Rice. Wegman, oh! Could have been a game-changing play for Kai Thomas. Woo. He'll see that tonight in his sleep.
Drops to the field. This is just a mistake from Connor Wegman, staring down his receiver. Watch Zero step right into the window. You're exactly right. Kai Thomas is going to watch that 100 times in film. Can't believe he dropped that interception.
They'll be talking about that tomorrow at the Granite Factory, where he worked before Colby Carthen recruited him back to play football. He has done an outstanding job tonight so far. Flags are down.
Delay a game, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, if you had Kevin Marr, our official, at more than 60 words tonight, you're probably pretty close.
He has been active. That's the story in week 0, week 1. These days, as many of these players move around, takes a little while to gel. Those pre-snap penalties, these officials get busy in the first couple weeks of the season.
Mortimer calls for the fair catch. 47-yard punt. Big weekend of college football. Georgia Tech and Colorado. I have got my eyes on that one. Caden Salter, how is he going to be in Boulder? How are the Buffaloes going to be? I believe that Coach Prime is really building something there. I think we'll have that guy and many, many more watching that game on Friday night.
That'll be huge. Also in this league, a big window for Baylor, an opportunity for them to try and get a win against an SEC team. This league, the Big 12, so many big matchups in week 1. Capped off with TCU, North Carolina on Monday night.
Sam Vidlac into the football game, still punching. That one sails over the outstretched arm of Derek Bowler.
For Stephen F. Austin, want to get some sort of momentum, and if nothing else, get points. Never want to have a shutout. Certainly never a shutout to start the season. See if SFA is able to get any sort of momentum on this drive.
That will break a 2-game winning streak for SFA in this rivalry here. It's been 75 years, but still. Richard Reese scoots across the 25, close to the 30. Third and manageable for the Lumberjacks.
Where is Kylan Harris? Where is Jordan Neighbors? It's like they've got Neighbors out, but at the top of the screen, Clayton Whalen there as well. That's another deep ball threat for SFA.
42 seconds left in the third quarter. Just 2 third-down conversions tonight for Stephen F. Austin. Richard Reese is swallowed up by the Houston defense.
I think by that play call to third and manageable, I guess SFA telling really everybody, try and get out of this game healthy. They've got high aspirations. Came into this season ranked second in the Southland Conference. So many returning starters. And I think they understand with this Houston front, this Houston defense may not be a ton of production coming their way tonight on the offensive side of the ball.
Willie Fritz. That's
the end
quarter
of the
left.
third quarter.
Everybody holding up the 4. 24-0 Houston. It has been all Cougars. Jalen Garner loves it, and so does Amari Thomas. Bullseye right there from Connor Wegman. Welcome back to H-Town. The city represented by this university and this football team coming out tonight, cheering on their Cougars, who lead 24-0. Fourth down, huge play coming up for SFA. Little hocus pocus. Flag is down in the backfield. Jordan Neighbors did not uncork it. Will James was on the spot. Looks like a hold on Stephen F. Austin. Subsequently, you'd imagine that'll be declined.
Interesting to call that now, right, and not save that
Holding.
for when you get into
Offense
league.
Number 86. That penalty is declined. First down, Houston.
I mean, those are the plays that, and it was designed to be a pass to Kylan Harris, who was double covered, was smothered up by this Houston defense that has been fantastic tonight. I think it started with their front seven. They've gotten after the quarterback all night, delivered some big hits. Some of the names we've talked about all night: Will James, Trey McCutcheon, his brother Latrell McCutcheon's been fantastic. There's been some shots delivered in this game. Rook Brown has gotten into the action in this second half, but it has been a dominating effort. Still just 65 yards of total offense for the Lumberjacks tonight.
Stacy sneaking into the line of scrimmage in the teeth of the SFA defense. Sets up about a 2nd and 6. Connor Wegman still in the game. What's that say to you?
I imagine they want one more score, and then I bet they would not see him anymore.
Oh, and leaping for it is Jaden York, the Texas Tech transfer, almost had it.
Wegman can't believe it. This ball is just a step out in front of his tight end, Jaden York. This is a touchdown, just a hair underthrown. Still probably needs to be caught by York. Almost another touchdown for this Cougars offense.
3rd and 7. Lumberjacks showing blitz. Quite possibly tipping their hand. We'll see what Wegman does. Quick pass. Nice catch by Stephon Johnson. Loses the football, gets it back. And it looks like the Lumberjacks have it. Rumbling and stumbling. Kamar Kimball. Wegman looking for answers.
Rolling on the field with an interception. First down, SFA.
Kamar Kimball rolling down the field with the ball. I know he can't believe the ball fell into his lap. It starts with Jalen Mayo. Let's see if this ball stays up in the air, flips up. Absolutely. That's an interception.
And you saw right there, Kimball at 5'11", 309, matched up there with.
Is under further review. Rolling on the field was an interception.
Well, right there in Steal the Bacon, I would imagine that Kimball's going to win that matchup against Stephon Johnson just about every time.
And that is incredible. I mean, you've got half of the Houston offense trying to bring him to the ground. Kamar Kimball, what a play. The sophomore from Houston playing back home. I'm sure he's got some family tuned in. And I love the start of that play from Jalen Mayo, fighting through the receiver. That's what creates this play. Take a look. Did that hit off the turf right there? Did it bounce off of his thigh? That'll be a great look at whether or not that hit the turf. From this angle, it's blocked out. It looks like it goes off of his thigh. Our end zone angle is perfect. And we'll be able to tell right here whether or not this ball goes off of Jalen Mayo's thigh or right here.
Oh,
I think that goes off the turf. Unfortunately, from that look, I don't think this is going to stand.
Bad news, Kamar.
I think it's pretty clear that that one goes off the turf. But Kamar, we will always have the replay of you running with the football. I think it's clear right there. That's on the turf. I think this will get overturned.
Wegman trying to squeeze it into a window to find Stephon Johnson, who still doesn't have a catch tonight.
After further review, it was ruled an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down.
So 4th down, and the punt team comes on for Houston.
Well, interesting that from this range, right at the range for Ethan Sanchez.
Yeah, that's a punt. Yeah, excuse me. Field goal attempt for Sanchez. 43-yard attempt. Snap good. And the Old Dominion transfer bangs through another. 2 for 2 tonight. 27-0 Cougs. Bird's eye view of Houston, Texas. In the catbird seat sit the Cougars, 27-0. ROTC, a lot of push-ups tonight. As the Houston offense has found its rhythm. Now, right now, Cincinnati is playing Nebraska. That game's at Arrowhead Stadium. Taylor Swift is there? Is that right?
That's what I heard.
Well, don't worry. Brett Yormark is here. Big 12 commissioner. We got the real superstars.
Right.
I bumped into him into the hallway. That guy dresses better than anybody. He looked like $1 million. Speaking of superstars, Heisman Trophy. All right, here are the hopefuls. You take it away, and then I'm going to ask you a little bit about Arch Manning.
Two of these guys are playing each other Saturday night. We talked about that game earlier. Arch Manning's got the expectations of the world on his shoulders. And Jeremiah Smith, I think, is the best overall football player in the sport. I know he plays a receiver spot, and more often than not, it's a quarterback that wins this award, although Travis Hunter broke that mold last year. But these four guys, superstars of the game, I'll be surprised if it's one of those wins the Heisman at the end of the year.
Gavin Rutherford, new quarterback for Stephen F. Austin, says, don't forget about me, Mr. McCart. Back to Arch Manning, as we see Gavin Rutherford's stats on the left side of your screen. Jordan Rogers, our compadre, mentioned, I think yesterday, that he doesn't see it on tape. from Arch Manning. You're a quarterback.
Yeah, I would put myself more in the camp of what Greg McElroy said, where there is enough on film. And I guess, I understand some of his starts were against the UTSAs of the world and a Mississippi State at the bottom of the league. But I think Arch Manning has as high a ceiling as any quarterback we've had in our sport in a long, long time. And there's a reason he's got the hype around him, not just for the name, but his ability as well.
Richard Reese, who has explosive ability, a flag thrown in from the back judge. And here's Kevin
Holding,
Martin.
offense number 71, 10-yard penalty, down.
Gavin Rutherford, at quarterback. It's another hometown kid from Katy, Cinco Ranch High School, redshirt sophomore, had a decent amount of experience last year once Vidlac went down.
Second and long. Rutherford. Jenkins changes direction and runs into Carlos Allen, one of the best run stuffers in the country. 9 TFLs last season. Give him 1 tonight.
And this defensive staff really high on Carlos Allen. Learned the ropes last year, his first year at Houston, coming in from Kennesaw State. They're expecting big things from him. You said it, Pete. He's one of the best run stoppers, not only in this conference, but in the country.
Rutherford faces pressure, throws it away.
We've seen that all night, haven't we? Red jerseys in the backfield, making it uncomfortable for most of this game for Sam Vidlac, now for Gavin Rutherford. Been a dominating performance for this Cougars defense.
No third down conversions this half for Stephen F. Austin. You see the second half yardage. -3 yards. Coming through like gangbusters was Jonesley Barbas. Hughes is stacked up and thrown backwards. 46-yard punt, -1 yard return. So the Houston Cougars take on Rice. That is next weekend, but then Coach Prime in Colorado in town on Friday night. National television audience watching on ESPN. And you see the trip to Oregon State and then the teeth of the Big 12.
Well, I think this is a team that you should expect to make some noise in the Big 12 as we see Zion Chris-Jamilian.
Play action. Zips it, oh, right through the hands of Kobe Young.
This is first action tonight for Gramillion, but has a decent amount of experience before you see over 2,000 yards to this point, transferred in from Louisiana. But for this Houston team, you look through that schedule. And remember, this was a team a year ago that had some upsets late in the year. Remember, Kansas State came here, lost a game that they really needed, trying to stay alive in the Big 12 race. I think this team, especially as dominating as their defense has looked tonight, I think they're going to have a chance to beat anybody on their schedule in the Big 12 this year.
Here's Connors over the left side.
I think if I'm a Houston fan, I'm really curious to see what next week when they travel to Rice looks like for the offense. I think this front seven for Houston is going to be able to get after the quarterback no matter who they're playing. But I think if you're a Houston fan, you're hoping to see them take that next step primarily in the passing game. I thought we saw some of it tonight. There were glimpses. We know that Willie Fritz teams want to be able to play good defense and run the ball. But I think that's the thing that I would be looking for as they move forward is that downfield passing.
Third and long. Vermillion scrambles right, tucks it away, and darts to the 34-yard line. Caden Turner chases it out of bounds.
You asked this offensive staff if we would see Gramillion in any sort of wildcat, and they said, well, no, not yet.
Not yet.
They didn't shut the door
yes.
on.
I think that we were talking to Slade Nagel. He was basically like, not tomorrow. But I believe because Houston's going to be good. And I think that they'll have a big game or two down the stretch, right? I would want to utilize them, wouldn't you?
I think that speed that we just saw on display from Vermillion, that's the kind of speed, especially from somebody that can put the ball in their hands, you want to utilize that. So, yes, I absolutely think you'll see him in some packages as the season goes along.
Did you ever, before you ended up starting at Rice or even in high school, did you ever do the Wildcat?
I was either a bench warmer or a player. That was pretty much it.
We'll step aside, coming back with the remainder of the fourth quarter. Cougars in control. Well, there is Tanner Koziel. He is done for the rest of the night, as it has been conveyed to us by the Houston PR staff. Lower body injury will be held out for the rest of the game. Nice feed by Gavin Rutherford as the clock continues to roll. But there is Koziel. Looks to be in good spirits. Obviously was down for a time, left the game, came back in, but banged up again. And why take the chance?
I thought he had a nice night. I thought he showed a lot of what you would have wanted to see if you're a Houston fan. Had the touchdown early, couple contested catches, and exactly right. After he takes a couple of those shots, even if he could go back in the game right now, why would you at this point?
It was interesting to see, as we see Jesus Machado, the two-lane transfer, stringing out that play. But it was interesting to see Connor Wegman's reaction, as we all thought that that could have been a tough injury. And he was like, oh my gosh, like you can tell. He really understands, right? And I asked you this week. Have you ever had a great quarterback and how beneficial, or a great tight end, and how beneficial is that?
Well, I had two that played in the NFL, Luke Wilson and Vance McDonald, and I can tell you it was the ultimate security blanket, and we had them on the field all the time in our offense. So that's going to be a huge part of this offense for Connor Wegman, and feeling comfortable with a big tight end, as Stephen F. Austin picks up another nice first down. But having a tight end that you feel confident in, and especially on those critical downs, those third and medium throws where Connor Wegman can throw it into a tight window with a receiver, a tight end in Koziel that can get those arms out away from him, that's going to be huge, and they'll continue to build that rapport with one another.
And you could see a lot of two tight end sets, excuse me, because Luke McGarry, the Tulsa transfer, is also nimble, big, soft hands. Isaiah Davis, his first catch of the night, thrown to the ground.
And I think for SFA, I would go back to our conversation with Coach Carthel when he talked to us about, guys, all of our dreams in this season and everything that we're playing for is after this game. We would love to go in and shock the world and win this game, but if we don't, we've got a team that we feel like can really make some noise at the FCS level in the Southland Conference. And so I think there's so many key pieces on this team that at this point for Coach Carthel, it's about getting them out of this game healthy.
Second and long. Williams again stacked up. Machado again. And for Houston and Willie Fritz, we touched on it earlier in the game, but that second season record for Willie Fritz, wherever he has gone, has been overwhelming, and it really has stood out. And he's the kind of coach, obviously, builds culture, but can turn around a program. 44-17 career in his second year as a head coach. Third and long. Nice find. Found a run out of bounds. Christian Braithwaite was there. Shy of the sticks.
See if the offense stays on the field. Looks like they will. And you're exactly right, Pete, on that jump from year 1 to 2. There's also been times in Coach Fritz's career, I think about the Tulane flip from 2021 to 2022, where they had a team that had gone from 2-10 to 10-2. And that jump, that kind of turnaround is something that Coach Fritz has proven he's capable of. And I think there is so much talent. And what they went out and got in the portal, especially on the defensive side, has really showed up tonight.
On a defense that was great
Please set the
last year.
play clock at 25 seconds.
Basically reloaded.
We were getting the chain set. There is no timeout.
It's telling the Houston defense to please come back. There is no timeout.
Listening to Willie Fritz, he's talked about it. He said, I can't really amplify my voice anymore. But when I was a young guy, I was at Kansas City Chiefs training camp, and I saw Frank Gans, the old assistant coach, a special teams coach, with a megaphone. And, oh, no, he had a microphone with 2 speakers. So now Willie Fritz has adopted the megaphone, much to his players' chagrin, as they can hear him from anywhere. Oh, Rutherford showing off some athletic ability, couldn't get the job done. 27-0, 6:05 left in the fourth quarter. Houston ahead, coming back with the football. If you're just joining us, here is what you missed. Houston all over SFA early. Trey McCutcheon and Mark Stampley letting their presence be known.
The defense from the first play all over the place. This was the first touchdown. Tanner Koziel, great to see him. If you're a Houston fan, get some touches early in this game. Running back by committee, we have seen all of them get some shine in this game. Jamarion Burnett with the touchdown here. A strike over the middle to Amare Thomas. Flash that arm strength from Connor Wegman. Let's say if you're a Houston fan, this defense tonight has been about as good as you could hope for. They still have held SFA to under 100 yards of total production. A chance tonight pitch a shutout first time in an opener since 1989. Pete was in high school.
No, I wasn't. I think I was in 7th grade. By the way, some would say that Austin Armstrong, the 32-year-old, nice segue, looks like he's in 7th grade, but he is one of the brightest young minds in college football and is the architect of this 27-0 shutout right now. We talked with him yesterday, dude. So impressive.
He was awesome. Really enjoyed talking with him, and you can tell there are so many great coaches where you meet them and you can see immediately and feel how much they love the sport. That guy loves football. Talked about how he grew up small town in Alabama, loved watching College Game Day and reading the paper with his dad. They'd swap the college paper.
DJ Butler swapping with Dean Connors. Banging his way inside the red zone, but a flag is down at the 39-yard line. 28-yard gain for now.
Holding. Offense number 59. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
But talking to Armstrong, it just felt like he had football in his DNA and running through his veins.
He talked about being in class in middle school and drawing plays. I mean, said he kind of always knew this is what he wanted to do and got a chance to be a defensive coordinator really early on, mid-20s at Southern Miss, moves to Florida, youngest defensive coordinator in the SEC, now has moved over to Houston, and I think in this first opportunity to showcase his defense tonight, they've looked fantastic.
Well, Sheil Wood, the defensive coordinator last year, leaves and goes to Texas Tech. And that leaves quite the void, but Armstrong, as we see Mekhi Muse on the quick pitch ahead. Kai Thomas sniffs that one out and makes a big play.
And running anything to Kai Thomas's side of the field, leaving him unblocked, probably won't end well. I mean, this is the guy that the SFA staff said maybe our best overall football player, extremely high football IQ, grew up as a bull rider till he got too big to get on the bulls.
I guess somebody told him it was rodeo night, because it is here at the stadium. DJ Butler again, as it looks like Dean Connors may be finished for the night. How about Connors? Willie Fritz told us, all my assistants are trying to take credit for getting Dean Connors. He said, hey, his girlfriend's in Houston. That's why he stayed. And he loved Houston. He said, I don't want everybody taking credit.
He was a big part of Rice's offense for the last 3 years, and that was a huge get for Houston in the portal. I think that will be the guy as the season progresses. You will see him continue to be a stable in this offense, especially because of that IQ that Coach Fritz talked about and his ability to pass block well. So important for good running backs.
Touchback. And guess who is back? Lee Corso for one last time. An encore on College Game Day. A guy who was basically synonymous with the history of college football. Forget about the fact that he was Burt Reynolds' roommate at Florida State. That's one of my favorite parts.
And that this was the place at Houston where he had the infamous bleep it at the last second. The whole crew goes crazy. It's one of my favorite College Game Day memories with Coach Corso. An absolute legend. There's so many incredible memories stuck in my mind of him on that set with the headgear.
Rutherford. Oh, Machado gets there late. And coming down with that, a huge catch by Clayton Ward. Somehow, some way. Whalen, big catch.
Thrown into double coverage, an unbelievable catch by Clayton Whalen.
40-yard gain. A little trickeration. Direct snap to Jenkins. Plunges ahead.
Also, a great job by Rutherford standing in the pocket. Watch how he takes a shot as he's delivering this ball. And then this is on the back end. Clayton Whalen knows the safety is working over, fighting through some traffic to come down with that. What a play.
Vetter
Timeout
and
for
Douglas on the
medical
scene.
stoppage.
But real quick, as it looks like the cramp dog may have gotten a couple other Houston Cougars. But I had a conversation, I was talking with Tim Brando, who was at ESPN when Corso interviewed for that job on College Game Day. And it was Corso and another legendary coach, who I won't name for the sake of the story. But the legendary coach was still pretty active. And Corso really wanted the job. They were interviewing them both on the same day. And according to Brando, Corso was like, hey, this is a long way to travel. You don't want to keep coming back and forth. You've still got work to do. You know? And Brando said he wanted the job really bad, and he knew how to get it. And he was going to angle, and obviously when he got the job, he delivered. Looks like we might have PI down the field.
Pass interference. Offense number 14. 15-yard penalty. Replay second down.
So it's on the Lumberjacks. Isaiah Davis.
Giving him the push off, the UTSA transfer. Right before he got that left arm extended on Vetter. This will be a look at it. That's exactly right. You get that left arm extended, you see Vetter taking that step back. An easy call for that back judge.
2nd and 19. Rutherford snaps it to Jenkins. Toes the line, high wire act, out of bounds.
You know, for SFA, also, anybody that watched week 0, Incarnate Word was ranked #1 in the Southland coming into the season. They went on the road to Nicholls State, did not look good, lost in their week 1 game. So everything's wide open in the Southland. An opportunity for Stephen F. Austin. And Coach Carthel said they've got all of their dreams still out in front of them, regardless of what happens in this game.
Oh, intercepted. Douglas stepping right in front of it. Go ahead, CJ.
Ruling on the field is an interception. First down, Houston.
Samford transfer. Douglas had 1 pick last season, got 1 tonight as of right now.
And it feels like the Houston defenders have done such a nice job all night stepping in front of routes and having that anticipation. You can see Douglas recognizing that over route, coming to his side, react to the ball, drive, and come away with the interception.
Houston offense back on the field, and Austin Armstrong has to like that. Pistol formation. Butler to the right side, met by a host of Lumberjacks. Coming up on the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
27-0. We'll step aside from Houston. 27-0 Houston. They are contenders. At least these guys feel that way, and there are our Big 12 contenders. And look, this is a conference, Taylor, that is pretty deep. There are a lot of teams that we could see at AT&T Stadium in that Big 12 championship game.
If you look at Arizona State last year, they were picked last by the media and won the league. So anybody that's not on this list, it's totally likely that you could be a TCU or somebody not listed there and still go make a run at this conference. But those top 5, I think, have the league in a position to maybe get 2 teams in this year. But a lot of that, Pete, we've talked about, is going to come down to how the league looks in their non-conference play. These games talk about Georgia Tech and Colorado, Baylor and Auburn, TCU, North Carolina, Utah, UCLA. Those are big games for the league. If this is the Big 12, a conference that wants to get beyond just having one team in the college football playoff, and I can tell you they think they do.
Well, it was pretty cool, too. You and I were fortunate enough to share some time with Brett Yormark, and you know, you asked him that question, what's it going to take for the Big 12 to get multiple teams in? He said, we got to win the big non-conference games. Straight shooter. Butler, straight up the middle. Flies to the 45-yard line of Stephen F. Austin.
Good run between the tackles from DJ Butler, sophomore from Mobile, Alabama. We'll see if Stephen F. Austin elects to use any of their timeouts or if they're content to let Houston take a knee in about 2 seconds and have that be it.
Butler again. Stacked up short of the 40-yard line, and that should do it. 27-0 Houston. The second year of the Willie Fritz era, off to a good start. And Colby Carther, nothing to hang his head about, that's for sure. Stephen F. Austin put forth a great effort, showed a lot of grit.
Awesome effort from both of these teams. I thought the defenses on both sides really played well. For Houston, pitching a shutout in their opener with all of these new pieces that came in. Fantastic job by that unit. And the Houston offense showed some flashes here and there. Some of the guys that they brought in maybe need a little more time to gel, but enough tonight that I think Houston fans should be really excited about that unit as well. But man, defensive football, we saw it early and often. The violence, the pads popping, college football is back. Huge opening win for Houston.
First shutout in a season opener since 1989 at UNLV. Jack Pardee and the high-flying offense. They pitched the shutout there thanks to their defense. But tonight, Houston, 27-0 for Taylor McHarg and our entire ESPN crew. I'm Pete Souza saying so long from Space City.